Thursday.
Oh,
How's everyone?
I just had the realization we're going to have to update the graphic with all the booze come this time next year.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
for
would
what
be
now?
The intro video.
What
the
about
picture, the background picture. This. Oh,
It's going
wait.
to have to all be all Malibus.
it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's in Colorado.
Yeah.
I know.
We're
That
not
was
taking
from-
to Colorado.
Jeez, when was that thing? That was
2 or 3 years ago.
I think it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, because I had the McLaren, so that was 3
I had
years
the
ago.
599. Huh. It's been a while. Well, my boo arrived.
Congrats.
It's a turd. I don't think even Hoovy would be okay with that car.
Oh,
So I bought it for $725.
god damn.
And it was on OVE, which is Mannheim's like dealer to dealer shit, right? It wasn't on like an auction. So I emailed the dealer. I was like, "Hey, does it run and drive okay and the AC works?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it runs and drives and the AC works." I'm like, "Okay."
It does run and drive.
And he's not wrong. He just neglected to mention some of the other issues.
Well, that it doesn't drive in reverse, only in
Like
forward.
there's no reverse.
Oh my god.
I said we can make that work. We can make that work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm torn because a part of me is like, hell yeah, let's just go for it with no reverse. But then a part of me is like, there could legit be a problem where we like, because if we're gonna be driving around Car Week, we're gonna have to parallel park, and we're gonna have to park in like parking lots. And I'm like, man, a lot of them are like grass and stuff.
We're just going to have to push you out of all the other spots. So
What happens if it's like a pull in and then there's
Top Gear rules. Top Gear rules. If you can't move because you don't have reverse, you're stranded.
start pushing.
Hmm.
Is it going to neutral?
Mhm.
Oh, you're fine. As long as
It's
it's no
definitely
big
there's
hill.
definitely something weird going on because it feels like it starts in second gear.
Oh, good.
And I think maybe it only goes into second gear.
Oh, I mean, how much is a transmission for a Malibu though? There's
I looked them up and I could find them for about $500.
who cares?
I'm pretty sure I'll replace it and then probably do a tune-up because it's also got like a pretty severe exhaust leak. Of
Yeah.
course.
Pretty bad.
Although I agree with Joe, it'd be really funny.
I mean, I was thinking about I'm like, if I needed to back up, why don't you could just like ram it and get it
You could rig up a pulley to reverse pull on the drive. I don't know. There's got to be a way.
Just have a winch on the back.
Yeah,
yeah.
winch yourself out.
The dump the exhaust. Have some turnouts.
Yeah, screw the exhaust leak. Just turn that shit straight up.
Yeah. So I'm sad I might have to buy a transmission for it.
You might as well turbo it now at this point.
Oh no. Well, actually,
Take the
someone
turbo off the Mustang.
someone's like, dude, just buy like a 250 shot of NOS and
Just blow it up.
and wait till the day we're done and then just send it, man.
Shot wonder.
Yeah. So yeah, well anyway, other than that, the interior is actually in remarkably good condition, like shockingly good condition. And the paint, well, it's
Paint has the typical GM where the paint peeled off. It didn't adhere to the primer very well. So it's got big swaths of paint missing, but they use touch-up paint to touch up like huge areas.
oh yeah,
Like
Yeah,
a touch-up
like-
pen.
like the entire A pillar is like
What year is that thing? Like a 03 or something?
no, it's I want to say it's a 05,
05.
something like that. It's got a DVD player in it for the rear
Ooh.
seat.
Does it have a DVD in it? And what is that DVD?
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't checked yet.
Oh, you gotta check.
Yeah.
Full credit. to the scummy dealership that sold it to me. He did not lie. The AC blows cold as hell.
For the next month until it leaks out.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, dude, it was so funny because I got to the pickup with the transporter, and he just starts laughing. He's like, "Oh yeah, so no reverse, no." And I'm like, "No reverse," and he's like, "No," and I'm like, "Crap." And so he helped push it backwards to get it out of there.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Well, anyway, so the boo's there. Now it's
Hell yeah.
time to start having fun with it. We're gonna have to figure out some stuff. But to be fair, the transmissions I looked for were all on eBay. So maybe if I can find one at a junkyard locally or something.
Yeah, do a pick and pull or something.
Yeah. I bet we can find one. I mean, it's a pretty common transmission. Apparently, they used it on like Cavaliers, Malibus, and a bunch of other crap from that era. So, I mean, there's got to be hundreds of thousands of those transmissions in junkyards.
It'd be fun enough just to take it apart and see if you can find out what's wrong with it. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, pull the trans and then get another one and then just take that one apart and see some shattered synchros or whatever the hell is going on.
Yep.
A part of me wonders, like, is it possible that it's just the shift linkage is off?
We can check it.
On a slush box? I don't know.
Yeah, well, because if the shift bodies don't go into the right position, they don't.
Yeah.
Did
It's
it?
not,
I can't remember. Did it rev up if it's in reverse? Does it just rev up and do nothing?
well, it feels like you're standing on a torque converter, right? Like it goes and like struggles, but it doesn't move. So it's almost like if you've ever been in a car with a trans brake. That's what it feels like.
Shit, I wonder if you just drop the pan and check the synchros. Or the solenoid, sorry.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like it's super complicated to get that engine out.
Yeah. You've got a year to figure it out, so we're not too worried about it.
Yeah, I got time.
Is there a prize for spending the least amount of money? That's the real question.
Sure.
I mean,
The prize is you spent the least amount of money.
yeah, you
You
did
have the
not
most
waste.
money to make.
Yeah, you did not waste as much money as everyone else.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I figured there was a high probability that something was going to be messed up with it when it was $725.
Yeah.
And it only has like 135,000 miles, which in that world is low. Like, to be fair, like most of them are 250, 275, something like that, right? And then this one was like 135, and it was like $2,000 less than comparable similar mile ones, or even $3,000 less. I'm like, I'll gamble on that.
How many are at wholesale auction? Like, are dealers actually taking these on trade and then trying to sell them?
Dude, there are so many Malibus available.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready to get one, let me know.
Yeah.
You can
All
have
right.
your pick of the litter.
Seriously, yeah. The world's your oyster. You name a color and whatever, and we can find it.
My goal
Right.
is to find the absolute nicest one I can find under $3,000.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I was just curious because, like, you look in Texas and the nicer ones are all just above $3,000.
Yeah.
If you go north, they're super cheap. So it's like-
Retail. That's retail.
yeah, retail. Yeah.
Wholesale, there's crap tons under $3,000.
Really, looking for a salvage title one that's newer would probably be a good bet.
Yep.
I did look at the wrecked cars and I was looking at those, but I just figured like there's just an extra element of risk in buying one of those because like if
I mean, I'm looking at one right now that is a 2018 with
Oh my God.
114,000 miles on it. It's green light, which means it runs and drives, but it's been sideswiped.
Well, it's gonna get sideswiped on the trip, so
It's only
Yeah.
$900.
900.
Yeah,
Oh damn.
$900.
are the axles straight?
Here, I'll show you a picture. I'll just take a picture. It'll be quicker to do it this way.
Yeah.
Wow. That's I mean, I can always sell mine. I could probably sell it for what I paid for it. Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's the best
That's a
$900 you ever spent.
that's a great car for $900. Dude, we could just get out the hammer and tap those dents out.
Yeah,
Get us new. Or put on like 17 pounds of Bondo.
I feel like the Malibu contest loses our audience immediately.
yeah.
They don't have the right sense of humor.
No, they don't.
They
We're
can't
having fun.
appreciate the gloriousness of this idea.
Yeah, Hugh, we're only 11 minutes in. Thank you. Come on.
Now 12. So stop lying.
Talking about Chets, what's a Chet?
Chevs.
Chevs.
Ah.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a rough one, by the way, everyone, because I was up for 21 hours yesterday. I didn't get
Nice.
to. I got up at 3, went to bed at past midnight, and then I got up again at 6:30 this morning. So I'm tired.
Fair enough.
But I am definitely going hard playing the points game now.
Isn't it fun?
It like changes
I
your
love it.
mentality.
Oh,
Josh
it
is
changes your
winning.
mentality.
Josh is like a rock star in the points game, and
But I've
I
been
want.
doing it for a while though.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna beat you somehow. That's my only goal. It's actually not to get the points or whatever. It's I just want to beat Josh.
Well, you got a ways to go.
Yeah,
I know,
executive
it's not-
platinum is hard to beat. So
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get there anytime soon. It's gonna be a couple years.
you got to fly a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
it resets every year though. That's the problem. with
know.
it.
Yeah.
But,
That's what I mean.
but the only cool thing is once you get like higher levels, it gets you like a kickstart on the
Yes.
next level,
Yeah.
the next year, or whatever. So that was my think. Like I came up with this master plan because I told Meg, I'm like, okay, we haven't traveled since before she got pregnant, so it's been 5+ years since we've like actually taken a real vacation or left the country or any of that stuff. And so I'm like, I want to go on a big trip in 2 years. Because next year, Sebastian's only going to be 5. So it's still going to be kind of a challenge. But the year after, he'll be 6. He'll be kindergarten age. Like, okay, it starts like, I feel like 6-year-olds start remembering stuff reasonable enough where I feel like it's worth spending money to take him somewhere.
Hmm.
You know, but like if you look back at like things you remember, stuff you remember at 5, not really much. 6, okay, you've got some memories.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spend like 10 grand to have him not remember it. You know, it's like
Fair
granted
enough.
we would remember it, but you know
You'd have pictures to blackmail him with.
that's true.
Yeah.
But so I about 2 years to get like enough points to get us some baller tickets to a good place and hopefully do it for free.
Well, see, it's harder since you own the business, but it's great to like have work pay for your work trips and get all the points from that.
Right.
And then you
No,
have all these free trips.
that's
you can do
exactly
personal.
it. Yeah, that's exactly how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, but it still comes out of your pocket because it's your business. But
Right. Well, it's yes and no. Like I mean, it's the company's paying for it, so the company doesn't get the points. But
Sure.
whatever. Like I mean, so you know.
Yep.
But actually, I got the same credit card he's got for American, so I kind of like did this distributed attack. Because the hard part is when you want to go somewhere, you don't know if it's going to be which airlines I have the right flights or whatever. And so from the business perspective, Josh and I have like a soft agreement where whenever there's a direct flight that's American, he's going to take it because he's got a crap ton of American points. He's got status, whatever. If it's a Delta direct flight, then I'll take it because then I'm going to try and work the Delta game. But then when I was like, okay, I'm going to get an American card and a Delta card because we have the two businesses, right? So we have the dealership and we have the parts and services company. And I was like, okay, I'll do one American card, one Delta card. Well, the American business cards suck.
Mm.
Like they're awful. They don't have good rewards. It cost a bunch of money. It just sucked. And I was like, well, that's stupid. But the American personal card is really good. So I was like, well, I'll get a personal American card and then I'll do Delta cards for the business. So that way, whatever. Anyway,
All right.
we'll see if it works.
Is the American business card bad because you can still share? Like, I know you can link your personal American to work, and you can get shared points.
You can, yeah. But the weird
Something
thing was,
I forget what it is.
the business
That's not fine
American
American.
card, flat out, you couldn't get other people lounge access.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And I think it was like they didn't accrue points at the same rate. So like your employee cards were at a lower payout rate. And I'm like, well, that's dumb.
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
the bonus, once you like, you know how like all these credit cards, when you sign up, you hit so many dollars of spend, they give you a big bonus. The bonus was only like 60,000 miles versus like the personal card was like 100,000 or something like that. And I'm like,
screw that.
and the personal card was a cheaper yearly fee. And I'm like, well, this is dumb. So I was like, nah, screw that. Anyway,
Good choice.
I know people find that boring as hell, but I find it interesting. Yeah.
So
So
tell you're over 40.
you're right. I'm gonna play the points game with my credit cards. Yeah. So the Delta cards are Amex. The American card is MasterCard. So, but the most annoying thing is having to move everything on the auto pays over to these new cards.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I did see that, but they now charge $900 a year.
Yeah, but you can. John, Greg, and I were talking about this yesterday. Like,
Oh, really?
You can recoup that really quick.
True. I mean, they give you a lot of stuff, but the only other problem with that is it's
You have to utilize all the BS they offer you for free.
Yeah, you do.
you do, and it's non-airline specific, so you don't necessarily get their lounge access.
Well, you do. You get the access to the Centurion Lounge, but that lounge is always crowded.
Well, and there's not
Oh.
one at
I don't
Austin.
think there's one at Austin.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure once they finish the rebuild in 2045, there will be.
Yeah, right. By the time we're dead, they'll
Yeah.
when they open Terminal B when we're dead.
That seems optimistic.
Yeah, I think I saw where it could give you like Delta Lounge access with some stipulation or something like that, but I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I just went with the Delta Amex because I was like, all right, we'll just give it a shot. If I don't like it, I'll get another one. I mean, whatever. I'm in. I'm playing the game now.
Yep. Love it.
Oh, really? In San Juan, the Amex one let you do a different lounge? Oh, but what? So, like certain ones, if you have a high grade ticket, then you can get access to the lounge. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, again, people might find this completely boring. I don't know. I don't care. I'm in. I'm playing the game.
What'd you decide, Greg? What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
What's
I
Angie doing?
travel so rarely for work. It was more of trying to figure out something for Angie, and
Yeah.
I think she'll do the Sapphire. But
Chase Sapphire.
yeah, but
That one frequently gets listed as like a high I don't know what you call it. Like people like that card a lot.
well, it's just for her. She just wants to get the best flight. She doesn't really want to deal with anything else. So.
Right, and that's why I ultimately did the American card personal, because the reality is like there's no way we're not gonna have sometimes where like I gotta fly American still, even though I'm really not.
And the other thing too is the American lounge. You can get into the Alaska lounges, which are much nicer than the American lounges.
Yeah, but there's not one at Austin, is
No,
there?
there's not, but there is at other airports.
Yeah. Like if you go like Seattle or something,
Yeah.
right?
There's an American lounge, though, isn't there?
There is. There's 2 there and I think 2 Alaska lounges. I usually bounce between them whenever I go there.
Yeah.
To see what kind of different food they have.
United Lounge in Austin is bad, but
The American one.
United one.
I haven't
Oh,
been in
United?
there.
I haven't been in the United one, and I haven't been in the American one, but the Delta one in Austin is super nice.
Yeah.
First of all, it's huge, absolutely huge. It has outdoor space. You mean they give you $200 a month?
Yeah.
Now, the problem is they don't really like it when you swipe it.
Oh no,
Zing. Got him.
Damn.
poor guy. Did you hear the?
Oh, yeah, I can hear him now. Yep.
Well, when
Oh,
you
yeah.
show them your card, do they just have like a pre-rolled stack of $1 bills, 200 $1 bills, and they hand them to you?
They're just like,
It's in a band of one.
Yep.
Or
Here you go, sir.
preloaded
Welcome.
money gun.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, preloaded gun. There you go.
there you go. Oh yeah, the money gun.
Yeah.
Nice. Inventory update. I guess we can do that. I guess we'll talk about cars a little bit.
I just put 2 cars on the website, and there's
Nice.
a couple more to come, in probably tomorrow.
Yeah. So at the moment, we've got yellow 360, red 360 with tan, red 360 with Kuyo. We've got let's see what else. GT 500, Porsche Cayenne Turbo, like Audi TTS. Kind of visualize what's in the garage.
And 458 that might be sold already, but it's coming.
I was
in.
going to ask if the black one's moving as fast.
I'm pretty sure the guy's going to buy it, but you never know. So
Okay.
he hasn't left a deposit. So if somebody wanted to buy it, I think it's a 2011 black 458 that's super clean.
Is this the one I saw you driving?
Yeah.
Oh, you ran into each other.
Yeah, I saw Greg over there.
Nice.
I saw his new Alpha. It's pretty sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Nice.
Yeah, where's that, Greg? Come on.
It's been a very busy week of trying to get all the parts and everything all.
Oh, yes.
They're all stacked.
They
up.
still haven't told us how much the shipping is for that. He emailed today and was like, in broken English, he was like, I'm checking on it for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have it at home though? Like, is it in
Not yet. So I should get
Ah.
it. I should get it back tomorrow with all the film on it. But then we have to drive
Nice.
it, set the readiness codes,
Mm.
Yep.
do inspection, and
Oh yeah.
cool?
it needs to go to the dealership for a oil change and service.
Okay. Yeah.
But didn't want to drive it until all the film was on, because then they don't want to re-clean it after it's been decontaminated.
Right. Right.
Nice.
Yeah. We still have the Z06 as well. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
So
Jocko.
what's up, Jocko? How you doing, man?
Feel like it's been a while.
It has been a little while. You know what? We got. I'm torn. Like we need to do something fun, some sort of drive or something soon. I was inspired because today I went outside to mow the lawn. And it was super nice out.
Finally. Super nice.
Go to the Dragon or go to Arkansas.
Yeah.
I legit.
I literally bought a car. I can't get anybody to go with.
I legit looked up a bunch of Airbnb VRBOs in Arkansas, and first of all, they are cheap
Yeah.
for like mansions, like 7,000 square foot, 7-8 bedroom mansions are like $1,500 a week or some crazy like stupid low numbers, and you're like, what?
Dang.
So, but it's like I said, I think last time we talked about this, they all have like all these like bunk beds and twin beds and children beds, and it's not really set up for adults very well. It's set up for like, I don't know what birth control is, and I have 75 kids families.
There is
You know,
some
like-
old hotels out there. We could book out a hotel too.
But then
That'd be cool.
parking
Yeah.
is a
I mean,
problem.
you have to park outside.
Oh, speaking of, Paul mentioned if we go during the week, he's got all those properties out in Fredericksburg area that we could just use.
Oh yeah, I mean, stay
That
at
would
one of
be
his.
cool. We could do the Twisted Sisters.
Yeah, I mean that's an easy, like low hanging fruit trip.
Yeah, super easy. It's just got to be during the week.
Yeah,
He's,
which
he
I mean,
rents them in the weekends, but
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
yeah.
Is there a Texas executive tracks with condo? Yeah, I thought they weren't they building one out. Shoot,
Like a
somewhere.
racetrack that's built with condos around it.
Yeah, I thought they were building one.
Oh, that'd be
Two.
cool.
Well,
So-
they're adding the condos to Coda, but
So they're adding condos to Coda. There's G2 Motorsport Park up in Dallas.
That's
area.
it. That's what I was thinking of. G2.
Got some condos out there.
Oh yeah, Crescent has condos too.
Well, Crescent just has houses that you can buy
Mhm.
right there.
Does Eagle Canyon?
I don't know. I haven't been out there in forever now, so I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't even know where Eagles Canyon is.
It's like in Denton area, if I remember right.
Oh, okay. That's why I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
But they redid the track, so it's like beautiful out there now.
Everyone keeps asking about the blue 430. It's a client's car. That's why we didn't really talk about it much because it's just
It's getting
here.
converted.
Yeah, it's being converted. So I
It's
didn't want.
nice.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, it's TDF blue, so it's very pretty.
Oh, speaking of nice things, how's the Z06 after the break-in?
It's much better.
Yeah.
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 So for everyone watching, I went out last Friday and drove it for a little bit and got it to 5 miles away from 500. I figured I'd let Dan and Josh have the honors.
I drove it home that night. As soon as it hit 500 miles, the tachometer changed. And
Dude,
Go-
you need to come drive it again.
Yeah. All right.
It's. I hate admitting that GM made a great car.
it is pretty good for what it is.
The Malibu is incredible.
Incredibly terrible.
Dude, that Z06 is phenomenal. I mean, truly, for that much money, you would be really hard pressed to find that much performance out of anything else.
Yep.
It's I hate that. If only it wasn't a GM, and if only it didn't have that stupid center console.
Oh, that's the worst part. It feels big compared to Ferrari.
It is.
Yeah.
It is bigger.
It
And
is.
I mean, there's I have 3 complaints, and they're all nitpicky. But I'm like, man, the car could have been. It's a great car. A C8 Max. I want it. They were so close to making it near perfection, but they just made a couple of dumb design decisions because of history. So the whole rear trunk thing, just get rid of it. I'm sorry, they could have made it a foot shorter, shorter, like lengthwise and height, and it would have been so much more aesthetically pleasing, and it would have been a lot lighter.
Yep.
So
yeah, this is weird that I
that's
want
true.
to see the 2026 interior in person.
I've seen it and it looks a lot better. It's still pretty cockpit feeling versus open, which drives me nuts. And I get it because I guess they needed that space for the E-rays and stuff, electronic crap was in that area right there.
Yep.
But it's they could have made 2 different designs for the non-E-rays and made that area much more open, because
it's not a GM car without a parts bin though.
yeah, I know, they got to use the same shit over and over and over, but
Yep.
Yeah, it rides super smooth,
It does.
and it's very planted and feels really good on the road. I feel like I could drive it as hard as a 458 and feel almost as comfortable.
The traction
Definitely
control
feels
and
heavier than a 458.
The traction control is crap.
yeah,
It's a binary switch.
it cuts you off so hard because I was just in sport mode and I don't know what I was doing even, but all of a sudden I was like, what the fuck happened to the car? And it just
No,
slowed me down.
it hits traction control and it just goes bleh, and dies, and you're like, "What the hell is that?"
Even if you're in like in the sport performance traction mode.
Even if you put it in track mode, it's
Oh,
still.
and I didn't go to track because it wasn't my car, but
I did a track.
Even
was
with
like-
the track mode, you have to change. I think you can change the traction control further within track. But you go to
I think
track,
yeah, you have to like go into the settings and change it
Yeah.
manually
Okay.
or something.
that makes sense.
Which that's the way if you can loosen that up, that would help a ton. And it just felt a little too heavy. Not dramatically heavy, but it's like 200-300 pounds too heavy, you know?
Yeah.
It's just enough where like you can feel the weight when you start going around a corner, but the suspension is so good that it handles it really well.
it's almost like it's about 300 to 400 pounds heavier than a 458,
Which is
exactly
pretty
right.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works.
right? Yeah.
This is my problem with the Testarossa. The new Testarossa is there's a freaking center console in it.
No, I know. I hate it.
That's what I like about the mid-engine Ferraris is it's really open on the interior.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love it.
and no other car does that. And
Yeah.
then they got rid of it. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. The new Temerario and Vuelto.
okay.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here you go. Just put a down payment on my first Ferrari 2010 458, carbon seats, carbon driver zone, carbon dash, Rosa red with tan, no
Nice.
lifter. That's dude, you'll be fine.
You don't need a lifter.
Put some scrape guards on it, send it. You'll be fine.
Yep.
That's gonna be a badass car right there.
This car has no lift. That car has no lift. I live just fine.
Yeah.
You live stressed out every bump in Austin. Be honest, Greg.
No, where do I go? I don't have to go anywhere.
Mine doesn't
can
have a lift, and I've got mine lowered pretty far.
Yeah.
I have to be careful, but
Do you know how smooth the turn in is to perfect 10?
Oh, yeah. How about Colette?
I mean, have you owned any GMs? Just gonna say.
Past 1987?
Yeah. No, honestly, I feel like GM. I don't even know if it's the cars that drive me nuts or the culture behind the cars that drives me nuts.
it's
'Cause I
the
feel
build
like-
quality of the cars. They're crap.
Yeah, a lot of the 90s and 2000s cars are crap.
Even into the 2010s,
Yeah,
some of
that's
them are
true.
garbage. It's
A lot of plastic.
everywhere. They rattle. I mean,
Yeah. But I hate like that. Like, I feel like GM people like cornered patriotism of America. It was like, oh, only we can be proud to be Americans. Everyone else is an imposter, and you're fake American.
that they make a bunch of their cars in Canada
Yeah. Which
and
is-
Mexico.
right, but it just drives me nuts because I'm like, it like becomes this identity that I have a problem with. I'm like, dude, just chill on that. Like, it's okay, calm down.
They just over-indexed on plastic to me, and I don't
Yeah.
know. My 85 like Silverado, you could stand in the engine bay next to the engine and like work on it.
Yeah.
There's so much room, and now everything's
There's a lot of
plastic
good
and-
things.
Yeah.
They did a lot of things right. I mean,
Yeah.
Who here could actually say anything bad about the LS? I mean, it's just proven bulletproof.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry that we don't have that button, but we don't really carry a whole lot of OE parts.
Did you check Euro spares and stuff?
I don't think anyone's going to have that button separately because it's just not a separate part number.
Yeah.
You have to buy a used steering wheel.
Dang.
Oof, God.
Just a chance to upgrade.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, get a carbon wheel, like you said.
Yeah. Do carbon wheel. Nice.
We said he has a blue leather wheel he wants to keep. Blue?
Blue? All right. Yeah, the LSs are I mean, my God, they've done everything with the LS, and you know it's truly one of the most impressive engines ever made, and it's like the simplest stupid design ever. I guess it's the whole keep it simple, stupid, right? Or keep it simple, stupid. That, yeah, KISS method or whatever.
Yep.
They just work. But oh, and speaking of that, what was I gonna say? Shit, my brain died. I had something and then it whatever. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, the Coyote's pretty impressive too. But
I wouldn't take a Coyote over an LS though.
I mean, it's a more impressive engine than the LS, but it's probably not as bulletproof. Although, I mean, people are taking modern Coyotes, stock everything, slapping 2 turbos on it, and getting 1,000 horsepower reliably, which is it's like, oh my God.
Yep.
Oh well. So, what else is going on? Let's see here. So Josh and I have been business plotting of how to make our company better and bigger and all the good things. Like we want to grow it. We want it to be more effective. We want to do more, everything, right? So we really kind of started trying to figure that out and discuss it and whatever. So there's going to be probably changes pretty soon. It's kind of weird, but like in a way, the flood kind of was like pushing the reset button for the company, and now that it survived the flood or is in the middle of surviving the flood, we kind of took a step back and we're like, all right, how do we do this better? Because it was getting to a point where we were spread so thin, and we still are, that it's like, okay, this is unsustainable. Like, we can't keep working this much. We can't grow. We're limiting the growth of the company. So, yeah, we want to be growers, not showers. Yeah. I mean, it does put a dent in the Hickers and Blow Fund, unfortunately, the stuff we're discussing, but yeah. I mean, find one. Sure.
Yep.
I don't really see how that would translate to real money, though.
Other than if they were a great tech, I mean,
if you could hire a Ferrari Master Tech, that would be the the best way to.
A female Ferrari Master Tech who also wants to be on YouTube. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
And happens to be attractive.
Yeah.
I don't think that person exists.
No.
I'm pretty sure. Like, there might be one out there, and that person just went, "Hey,
Yeah. My ear hurts, huh?
that's me." Oh man. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Could you actually repair the start button?
Oh, interesting. Depends what broke on it, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
If it's electronics based, you probably could pretty easily.
Female Ferrari Master Tech on OnlyFans.
Jesus.
Probably could. They'd probably do very well. Ooh.
Is that license plate available? FFMTOF?
Oh man. Y'all need to ask interesting questions because I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm running so low on fumes today.
We can cut it short at an hour.
Might have to
Yeah,
because I'm like feeling yawns coming on. I'm just
That's
like,
what I felt last week when I went to Miami. I was like, I had that early flight and then an early flight the next morning. It sucks.
yeah. I'm behind on sleep for. Yeah.
Yep. I feel you. I was supposed to wrap up this issue at work. I've been working on it for the last 5 weeks, and it just got worse today. So,
Oh no.
Ugh.
You're
Yeah.
like, no.
Time for the weekend.
Well,
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
get one,
this-
yeah.
This is not helping at all tonight.
What's going on this weekend? Is there anything going on car-wise stuff?
I've honestly been so heads down. I haven't even like looked.
Yeah.
At,
Yeah.
Me neither.
I don't think there's anything on my calendar.
but
Nope.
Sunday will be Russell's. But
I haven't done that yet. Maybe I should cruise down there.
I'd be open to picking up a drive or something. I just don't know if I'll have. I wanted to drive the Alpha, but I don't think I'll have it back.
Yeah.
I was thinking, Josh, maybe we should just post and do a once a month ish car meetup at the shop on like Saturday or Sunday morning or something for an hour or two.
Yeah.
And
Do
you know,
Saturdays because everything's on Sunday.
okay, Saturday.
Yeah.
And just make it so like it's like, just show up, grab a drink or coffee or whatever or donut or something, I don't know, and shoot the shit for a little bit and then go.
I can already
And-
see that layout. So there's whiskey, coffees, and donuts. So you can combine all three if you really want.
I like it. Oh no.
Oh yeah, Jocko
SF95
called me
is
and
down.
told me. Ugh.
Oh no. We
That's-
tried to warn you, Jocko.
It's under warranty.
What died? The battery?
That's not good.
Well, it'll be under warranty, but still, you got to deal with that. It's a
Yep.
pain in the ass to deal with it.
Oh, here's a good question. Kevin texted me earlier today, and I haven't responded to him because I got off work at like 7. Are you still planning some sort of barbecue October, November?
Yeah, I think we can coincide a 100K subscriber combined with the shop is back in full operation
Grand
party.
reopening.
Hell yeah.
The grand reopening post flood / 100,000 subscriber celebration.
Nice. All right.
So yes, we should. I don't know when, if that should be October or November.
Early
Um,
November makes sense.
November?
Early November.
Early
Like
November.
after
151 subscribers to go.
Oh,
nice.
damn close.
After F1.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it during F1.
Yeah.
Maybe that first weekend of November, because November 1st is a Saturday.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh shit. Okay. Daylight savings time ends on the 2nd.
Definitely
We
gotta
go
do it
back
Saturday.
an hour, so we gain an hour technically, as far as sleep goes.
Yeah.
But it's dark as shit, super early.
I know.
Oh god. So maybe that is a good day to do it then.
Yeah, do it on the 1st.
Doing the 1st. Okay.
There you go.
Like jerk.
If anyone's watching that has not subscribed, please do, because there's 111 people watching right now. So
There you go.
There's probably a couple that aren't subscribed, but on the
And
live
only-
stream, it's mostly subscribed.
yeah.
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 And only 33 thumbs up. So
I actually disagree. I think they need to make daylight savings time permanent. I want what we have now year round.
yeah, now should be permanent.
Yeah, which is daylight savings time.
Yes.
Most people get that wrong. They think daylight savings time is the winter, but it's actually the summer is daylight savings time.
Yeah, I would
Yep.
be fine with that.
Yeah, because I want it to be light after I leave work.
Yes.
I hate the winter when you leave.
BB's darker.
Jocko, we know you're in a dark place because of the SF90, but don't bring that to us.
Yeah,
Well, he's also in northern Michigan.
you
so,
chose
I
to
mean,
live in Michigan.
It gets dark at like 3:30 up there.
dude, like 2:30. You get like 6 hours of daylight up there. It's
Oh.
awful. It's not
See,
good.
I just want to know, Jocko, at what point do you sell the SF90? You've been so committed to it. There has to be like a breaking point. Is this that
Good question. When his 849 comes in.
Ooh.
Not true. Hawaii.
Yeah.
And also, the Indian reservations in Arizona still change time.
And doesn't
Yep.
part of Indiana?
Yeah.
Like only a part of it though.
That's right. But I love that when I lived in Arizona, it was so great. The
Yeah.
whole
Oh,
world
yeah.
revolved around me. I would have so many meetings. I'd be like, I don't know what time it is for you, but in Arizona time, it's this time. This is when we meet.
The problem
figure
is it always, since my parents live in Arizona, it always messes me up because I'm like, okay, every time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna call my mom, and I'm like, wait, it's 8 o'clock here. Are they in bed or not? I gotta Google what time it is there.
Right now, it's 2 hours earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now it's fine.
Crazy.
Makes it a lot easier. Because they're on standard time, right?
Hmm. Yeah, they stay standard.
What is time really?
What is time?
It's a construct of our imagination.
I would
Fine.
just rather drive to work in the dark than come home in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with driving to work in the dark. I do not
Yeah.
like driving home and then getting home and it's dark because then
Well,
you're
the
just
problem
like,
is you get home and it's like the day's over, right?
yeah,
I want to do stuff when I get home. I want to go outside
Exactly.
and do stuff, and you can't.
yeah, I want to be able to go outside and grill or
Yeah.
or play with my kid or something, anything. And yeah, anyway.
I mean, it's Texas. Just start a bonfire and put up some giant lights and do whatever you
Yeah.
want, right?
Yeah.
Mostly. You're taking it to Daytona? All right. Well,
Yeah. I'm going to try and go out there for work. So meet Jocko and Steve.
In January for the race?
Mhm. Yep.
oh,
The
nice.
24-hour.
24?
Yeah.
Is it real expensive to do that?
It's, I forget what Steve told me. Through Ferrari, it's like $2,000, I think, a ticket.
Oh. Okay. That's
That
pretty-
also gets you into the race for the full weekend, too.
But what else do you get for $2,000?
I don't know. I didn't
they
look
don't have
into it.
does it come with hospitality for that much?
I think so.
It's got to have some hospitality for $2,000.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I
I
would
think
hope
there's a club level like booth.
Let's say, does it have like grandstand seats and something?
I think it's a club access. I think.
Okay, that's for a full weekend though. It's
That'd be pretty cool.
not
Yeah.
bad.
Or I'm gonna try and go for work and then see if I can just get access through work. So
There you go.
I'll cheat.
Totally forgot to tell you, Josh. There is a rally next month. It's a. I don't want to get the details out yet because I don't have the details figured out. But there's a rally in California.
Sweet.
And they asked us to sponsor, and I'm like, well, to be frank, we're not really in a position to dole out a bunch of money right now. We're kind of still trying to get the shop back to put together, and we still have a bunch of money to spend. But
Yeah.
they're like, well, maybe we could work something out where if you give a discount to rally participants, we could have you as a sponsor or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But then I started thinking, I'm like, I wonder if I should go on this rally to like, because I was looking at like attendees of past ones. I'm like, yeah, these are probably people we should meet.
Where's the rally?
It's in California. It starts in LA-ish area and goes fairly close by, but not totally close by. And
By
It's
where? Here?
huh?
Where does it go?
Like the Napa.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a 3-day rally. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Hmm.
So I'm debating if it's worthwhile. I was thinking about
Is
it.
your car out there?
I don't know. That was the question. I'm like, if I towed the
Oh,
car
mine's
out there,
3-day rally.
that turns it from a 3-day thing into a 7-day thing.
Yeah.
So that's probably not worth it.
So what
But
type of
I'm wondering, I could call Fred and be like, hey, Fred, when was the last time your car was driven? Let's go
Yeah.
drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bar
That's
was
the way to go.
458.
Take your Delta card and fly out to LA.
Right? Maybe I could get a frequent flyer miles out there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, I'm debating that if it would make sense.
what type of cars are on the rally? Like what type of rally is it?
exotics and supercars and hypercars.
Hmm.
So like
The problem is if you go like too new, then that's not really, I feel like, your target demo. You kind of need
yeah.
you like need some of us brokies who are
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know,
Us brokies with
$5,800.
$500,000 in cars
Well,
behind you.
Yeah, right.
This is everything. I don't have a floor. Notice there's no garage floor in here. There's no race deck or whatever.
True.
You know, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
You are literally staring at my net worth.
I mean,
True.
yeah, right. Yeah, I mean that's true. Like if you get the too high end, it's a bit out of our price target. But if you get like the good stuff, those are guys who also are like, oh, I want to put exhaust on it.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff. So
It might be worth
Yeah.
it though for like pushing over the subscriber count.
well, I was just thinking like California's got such a car culture that like to participate in because it's going to be like 95% Californians,
Mm.
you know. So, and we're not like a huge presence out there because
Yeah.
we're based in Texas. So like we don't get the exposure as much as those guys do.
Does YouTube like show the analytics by state at all, or is it only
It does. Yeah. Yeah. California is a big portion of it. Yeah. Oh no, the Dino's been in the shop. I mean, I thought that was already like getting like a refresh or something, wasn't it? Oh no.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
because your brake fluid is boiling, or is that because your
I
brake
was saying,
fluid's stuck?
did you not bleed him, or do you have shit brake fluid in there, or were you just aggressive as hell on the brakes? Because they aren't the greatest brakes on the 360. I hate to say
No,
it.
they're not. If you're gonna track it, they really need to be upgraded.
Especially for someone that knows how to drive a track.
Let's say, and with your track experience, you're probably going to drive it pretty quickly past its braking limits. Oh damn!
Ooh.
Yeah, it probably has crap pads on it.
Yeah, it's probably pads.
Yeah, I don't know if the 360 has any like brake cooling ducting or anything like that either.
I don't know.
I think sort of.
Not like the 458 does.
No.
Because it could just be like overheated pads if they're just on old pads or something.
Yeah, I mean, you probably like glazed them over and then they just stopped functioning. I think you're supposed to do it. Technically, you're supposed to do it annually, according to Ferrari. But
Ferrari of Austin says I have to do it every track day for about $5,000. Is that
what? You serious?
no, just kidding.
Okay. They do want it every track
Yeah,
session.
they want to make sure it's at least within 3 months of a track day, which is
Yeah.
basically
Just get the factory Brembo ones.
Yeah, the factory pads are sufficient for the carbon brakes.
yeah, Pageants are better, but you know, if you're driving on track, what should we say? If you're really driving on track and you want to use the ceramics, I think the Pageants are probably a better.
Yeah. It's gonna be better, but the factory ones are good enough.
Yeah.
Like you probably aren't gonna cook the factory pads on that car unless you're really, really aggressive. Which then if you're running street tires, you're probably gonna liquefy your tires before you liquefy the brakes.
It depends now, because like a modern street tire compound, if you're like an aggressive street tire, like that's like as fast as an old like slick.
That's true.
It kind of depends. Like on the Scud, like a lot of the upgrades of it were just like the car never was meant to have tires as grippy as they are, you know, brakes as good as they can be, you know, all this type. So you have to kind of like modernize all of that system.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're really going to push it.
Slipperellis, then yeah, you will definitely.
So
My experience with Pirellis on the track are they are good for about one session, and then
Yeah, hopefully just burn them off in one session. That's the real
well
goal.
then you melt through the sticky layer and it gets into the harder crappy layer, and then they just turn to shit.
Well, and whatever with Pirellis, once they like get hot and then cold, they're just hockey pucks. Once
That's
they're
it.
cold
Yeah,
again.
then they're done.
Yeah.
They don't heat cycle. You
No.
get one
You get
heat cycle.
They're so bad.
Yeah. It's awful. Absolutely awful. At least the Michelins you can heat cycle a couple times. Like you can do a full track day on like PS4S's, but that's probably about it. Depending what track and how hard you're going, I guess.
It's funny on the Alpha. I mean, it's almost felt like it's a little bit of a rescue project at this point. So on that car, it comes from New York. It had Pirelli Courses as the factory tire on the car. And it's 2023. So the guy's driven it 14,000 miles since 23, and the tires have a huge knot on the tires. You can tell the tread basically is like cracking.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
plenty of tread on it, and then we got all the tires off. I'm swapping them for some Vitor P1s, and then pulled the tires off. And then one of the rear tires was literally corded on the inside, even though there's tons of tread throughout the rest of the tire. So it's like
Probably needs an alignment.
probably, but it's like that. Those tires driven in cold, obviously from Pirelli, like they cannot handle like just at least New York daily abuse type of thing.
Yeah.
Cup 2s are awesome at the track.
They'll last and they're okay, but they're not that fast. So it depends if you really want to go fast, there's faster compounds, but then sizes for like big dollar cars are pretty limited because a lot of those fast tires only go to like 18 or 19-inch sizes, But there's Jocko, there's an article on Grassroots Motorsports by Andy Hollis that basically is like the street tire Bible that rates every single tire by performance level and dry, wet, temperature management, and so on. And Andy is the best. I'll send it to like the Dragon message chat.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd be interested in reading that.
Yeah, that sounds like an article I want to read.
What do they say the best tire is then?
In general, right now, if you want like a street tire for track use, you're kind of between like a Bridgestone RE71 RS, a Yokohama Advan AO52, Hoosier, is it Track Attack, or the Vitor P1. Those tires seem to be kind of the fastest for like an autocross street tire, track day street tire type of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Nice.
the Scud is on Bridgestones, the RE71 RSs. The STO will go on Vitors or the Hoosiers as soon as I burn through the stock.
But just to clarify, Greg is more track focused than street focused, right?
High performance
on-
street.
On the spectrum of street track, you're over here.
Yeah, I like an aggressive.
Most of us are like here.
Yeah.
just to,
I want to stop in the rain. Yeah.
yeah. I want to do
I
a
like
drive
the
in
Michelin's.
the rain.
I like the Pilot Sport 4S is a good all around tire.
They're great all around. And
Yeah.
the nice thing is when they get kind of greasy too, they don't have really like odd behavior. They're still very consistent. They're, all the Michelin tires are great. They're just expensive and they're better.
They are pricey.
They're definitely more on the street side than track side for those. Like the PS4S is a street tire that you can track. It's not a track tire that you can street.
This is the real answer. We need to get Jocko in the 200 club, so we need the tires that he can hit 200 in.
Yeah. The thing where you start to get a little weird with something like an SF90 though is it's a lot of weight, right? So, I don't know if a lot of these other street tires are really dealing with loads for like a 4,000-pound, 1,000-horsepower, crazy.
Yeah.
thing. And like
burn off a set of Cup 2Rs in 60 minutes.
and I can't remember talking about if your car's on carbon wheels.
It
is.
Yes.
But like warranty stuff, if you're using the non-Ferrari spec tire, I don't know.
Mm.
I'd want to get them installed at the dealership, whatever you do.
Yeah.
So that way, if something happens, you can blame it on them.
Thanks, John.
God.
And as a follow-up, it is heavy.
That's awesome. Love it. Man, you got I guess because I don't know what the ads look like during live streams, but maybe I'm just gonna turn them off. It's not like we make any money on the live streams.
Yeah, they overlay the chat. That's interesting.
That's
Also,
dumb.
Hugh, just buy YouTube Premium and stop watching ads.
I know. I do not understand. If you watch YouTube with any sort of regularity,
Yeah, it's $14 a month or whatever.
it's worth it. Like it saves you so much time. I like it as like the amount of time I save by not watching those ads with how much YouTube I watch is 100% worth it.
And you get a music subscription. So
Yeah. I use YouTube Music for all my
Yep.
music streaming.
there you go. That's our ad shill for Google. So Google, give us more algorithm.
Right? Give me more YouTube. Is $10,000 excessive to change both the throttle linkage cable and transmission shift cables on a 348? That seems very expensive. But I don't know what all's involved. Do they have to drop the engine to get the throttle cable? Because it goes through the firewall? I don't know, honestly.
Where was the throttle linkage on the 355, Josh?
It kind of came up through the center and up. If you had to change it, it'd be a lot easier with the engine out.
Yeah, because it's right there at the front of the engine.
Yeah.
Oh, does Amex Platinum give you YouTube Premium? That's
I forget what it is. They credit
For $900 a year, they better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They credit something with subscriptions. John sent it and I forgot because I'm not cool
I think they do
enough to have that card.
HBO as well.
Yeah.
Which I was like, damn it, I can't put HBO on my company card. That's the only problem, right? Like the benefits of the Delta card is so much better than the American card for like home use, but I don't know. I'm torn now if I should get like the Delta card for home and just go all in on Delta, but the problem is
I'm all in on United, so I don't know. I have no
there's
say.
no direct from Austin to Phoenix, and that's one of the few flights that I'm 100% guaranteed to do at least once a year to visit my parents.
The American does have a Phoenix flight that's direct.
Right. And that's the problem. So I'm like, I'm going to be flying at least one American flight every year, no matter what, at least. Because I'm not flying Southwest, and I'm not going to take a connection to Phoenix because screw that.
Yeah, so you need HBO for your customers because it is an ordinary and necessary expense for your level of customer.
Yeah.
What's that tax code, John? 116 something?
I get HBO free through my phone plan, oddly enough.
Oh, weird.
Really?
Cell phone through AT&T. Yeah, it's like you get free HBO Max. I'm like, cool.
Okay.
I never watch it, but I have it.
I only watch like John Oliver, and like once in a while I have a movie that I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to watch that movie.
I did start watching. I don't know if you guys ever watched Entourage.
Yes.
A little back in the day.
I watched all of them years ago, and I started it again, and it's so good. I love that show. I love that show.
I will say, like once a decade, you need to go watch the entire Sopranos.
Yeah.
But once you've done it, you're like, okay, I just went through that for like 6 weeks. Okay, now
Yeah,
let it sit for a couple years.
I'm probably due. Speaking of, yeah.
Mm.
Don't forget you have the movies, Josh. You gotta do the Entourage movie. To
That-
go.
oh,
I saw that too.
And
I'll do that
HBO.
after I finish all the 8 seasons of Entourage.
The other thing is, once a year I have to watch Band of Brothers, and once a year I have to watch Pacific.
I've never really been able to get into Pacific as much as I love Band of Brothers. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I get like to the first few episodes, and then I just
Oh.
like trail off every time.
They went a little too hard early on in like the love story.
Hmm.
I
That might
think is
be
what
it.
it is. With Lucky, yeah.
Maybe
But
that's what I get lost in.
the later, and that's the problem, is like that one ramps up over time versus like Band of Brothers kind of starts high and trickles down, because like when you get to Ardennes, like the Battle of Ardennes is kind of a little bit like, okay, everyone's gonna die, the trees are exploding, this looks awful.
Yep. Dang, Buffy, watch it. I don't know, man. Every year to watch Buffy.
I've never watched it, don't really care to.
Yeah.
But you know what we suffered through? We binged on Grey's Anatomy.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
It's like 20 something seasons.
Yeah.
It literally took us like 4 months to get through it,
Jeez.
because we'd watch like maybe one episode a night here and there. So you're talking like it takes you like weeks to get through. You know, it was just, holy crap, it took forever.
Yeah, one of my biggest life accomplishments is when I worked a job as a phone line support for the telephone book. I could watch on my iPad every episode of Law and Order in order.
That's impressive.
Truly incredible.
Yeah.
And
This
I-
cast is almost to that level.
Dude, you've been to Palau and Peleliu? Me too. You're one of the only people I know.
What do you
that
mean
have.
by freaky place?
Dude, Peleliu, because the battle at Peleliu was the first battle in the Pacific where the Japanese no longer did the bonsai attack, and they did guerrilla warfare where they like dug into the mountains. And so the casualty rate for the US went from like, it was like 20 to 30%. It went to like 70 to 80%.
Yeah.
And so that's when it got really ugly, and it set the stage for Okinawa, where Okinawa was just awful. So when you go to Peleliu, like you're like, yeah, like they basically, it's a tiny island, and they blasted the entire island into oblivion, and then went on shore, and it still was awful.
Jeez.
Yeah. But you go to Palau to go scuba diving, and then you're like, well, if you're there, I feel like if you care about history, it's a disservice of yourself to not at least spend one day and go to Peleliu. So that's what we did. We took the boat ride to Peleliu, because Peleliu, I think, was like a 2 or 3 hour boat ride. And then you go tour the island, because you could basically walk almost the entire island in a day, you know, like with you know, like shuttle cars or whatever. And it's, yeah, like when you go on the tour through the mountains, it's like, do not go off the trail, because there's unexploded ordnance all over. So if you walk off the trail, you could blow up.
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
okay, we'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was bad. I think that's episode 6 or 7 in the Pacific is when they finally get to Peleliu. It's a battle that most people have never even heard about, because it wasn't like a decisive like turning point in the war or anything. But anyway, I like history of that stuff. It's very fascinating to me. Like I read all the books that all of those series are based on.
Yep.
So I read
That was
from a Pillow and all that.
Yeah. The coolest thing growing up was like watching History Channel with my grandfather. He's like, oh, that's me.
But pre big hair and aliens though.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Pre big hair aliens when they actually showed war stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like-
Back when the History Channel was actually about history.
Yeah, and they just watching stuff on Pacific Theater, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm right there."
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah. I find that stuff really interesting. I think it's really important to like understand and know
Mm-hmm.
what all happened back then.
Oh,
History
100%.
doesn't repeat itself. That's-
Yeah. Sure, we'll just go with that.
That's what they want you to say, Greg.
Right?
Careful what you say. We're being monitored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Yeah.
I
Also,
like
like ice
now.
jumped through the window.
like my check.
Yeah. The rapture happened. We're all still here, so
Oh,
I don't
dude.
know. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm so bummed I didn't get
I know.
raptured.
What happened?
The rapture was supposed to be 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So
According to TikTok.
Dude, like every other year, they're like, "Oh, there's a rapture coming." You're like, "Okay."
I was gonna make it this time, but my license plate kept me out. I think.
Oh yeah.
I want to find a way to monetize off these dumb people, but I almost would feel too guilty. Almost. I'm not saying I wouldn't.
They have nothing else to do. Just leave them alone.
There's people who literally sold their homes because they thought they were gonna be raptured.
Oh,
That's a
people gave
personal
away
problem.
their belongings because they thought
Yeah.
they were raptured.
Yeah. It's like, holy crap. Like what cult smoking crap have you been doing?
Yep.
Oh Lord.
Darn, I missed it. Darn. Shucks.
Actually, the best thing is you need to go to some of the people who thought they would be raptured and be like, well, looks like you didn't make the cut. You're still here with us heathens.
How did that change your life now? Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I'll have to add Hell to Pay to my books list.
Yeah. Good to
Yeah, I've
know.
read quite a few of the World War II books that are, the highly rated like ones and stuff. So anyway, yeah,
It's true.
it's probably true.
Yep.
That wasn't politics. That was religion.
Yeah. Way different.
Way different. We're still not really supposed to talk about it all. But
They're all pretty much merged together nowadays, anyway.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord. Mm.
But we need something to make a joke about. And
There's
that's
only a
easy to-
brief allude to politics for a second, but then we quickly steered away
Yes.
from the iceberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For an icebreaker. Come on, if you can't laugh at this stuff,
Yeah. That's the truth right there.
that's the problem. Everyone needs to laugh more.
Yep.
Speaking
Laugh
of ice,
more.
doesn't the color of your Ford have ice in it? Wasn't it like blue ice metallic?
Ice Storm Metallic.
Ice
yeah.
Storm.
Ooh, Ice Storm Metallic.
You mean his Rapide? Thank you.
If only if I could just find a way to get an Aston badge that would fit in the hole of the Ford badge.
Oh,
3D print one. Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah. Mm. That should be like an official color of the U.S. government.
All their cars are white or black.
I know.
There's some silver.
Occasionally silver. Yeah. Man. Yes. Yeah. When are you coming down here, Jocko? We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, you should come down in November. I hear there's some place that's going to have a party on November 1st.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
or you can meet us in Arkansas. We do a drive.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that be the last week of October, and then we come back home and?
Oof. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I don't want that.
I feel like if we're
This
gonna
might
do
be more
that
controversial than politics.
Oh, jeez.
in this group, yeah.
Or religion. Yeah.
we can start some serious fist fights in this.
Do people really have strong feelings about Doug? I mean, even if you don't like him, I don't feel like anybody's like, I hate Doug.
I will say
Yeah,
he's one of the main reasons that I bought a 360 years ago.
really.
There you go.
Is because I watched his videos when he had that 360, and I'm like, shit, maybe I should get a 360 because it made it a little more approachable. Back before I knew much about Ferraris.
I'll be honest, I liked his content better pre-money.
Yeah, I can't watch his videos now. They're just
like I feel like his reviews, I don't know, they're kind of boring now because they're all the same. But I mean, there's value in that there is consistency to them.
Yeah.
So like, if I want to know about the weird stuff that a car has, I go watch his stuff. But I mean, honestly, like, it used to be interesting because it used to be like, oh wow, that's a weird button or that's a weird design choice or whatever. Now it's like, yeah, okay, lots of cars have weird crap and it doesn't surprise me anymore, so I don't really care.
Well, part of it is he was kind of one of the first guys to do these quirky car reviews. Now there's 1,000 people that do them.
Yeah.
So it's not special anymore.
The big thing to me was once he got the money, he kind of was unrestrained to be himself. And I feel like his persona isn't the persona I thought it was, you know? So, I don't know. I like him, though. I think I mean, whatever.
I appreciate that he has his own authentic.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't feel like he deviates from, like, what he likes or doesn't like. So, he doesn't try and play a game.
Not that one, this one. I would watch that if he did a review on a shitbox car. I would watch that because that would be funny.
Yeah,
but I don't care about the quirks and features of a Kia Telluride.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the crazy part is his normal car reviews make him some of the most money.
Yeah.
So it and obviously he had to lean into that because that's where the money is. And I could give two craps less about reviewing a Kia Telluride. You know?
I mean, it's hard for, I think, us to always take a step back to be like, we're so in our niche. Of what we like. It's, John in our, chat or whatever posted today, like Chris Harris's like 12-minute walk around of the RM Sotheby's, auction of like all the, Ferraris and everything like that. To us, that's incredible. To everyone else there, that's like the driest 12 minutes.
Oh yeah.
They can be imagined. But
totally. No, I don't blame him for any of his decisions. Like I think he's done everything right for himself and for his YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would comb his hair in his videos. Like, dude, just like put something in your hair or comb your hair or something. Put a hat on. Put a Cars and Bids hat on.
There you go. Yeah. But no, yeah, it's like, apparently someone tried to text you today, Josh.
Text me?
Where are you seeing that?
It was for some reason it was held on YouTube.
Oh.
It says, tried texting you, Josh, about swinging by to look at a car today. Radio Sans, guess I'm a VUP? I guess it's supposed to be a very unimportant person?
Apparently.
I don't know. Did you even get a text?
Dude, I get so many texts. I might have. I don't know. I've blocked a lot of numbers that I don't recognize.
I mean,
call the
email
business.
is the best. Email is always the best.
Send us an email or call the main line. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Because you may have texted the main number, which doesn't even get texts. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to,
That's weird that YouTube blocked that.
Yeah, I don't know why it held that. He didn't say anything that's like offensive.
Where do you see the ones that get blocked?
I was on YouTube, on the YouTube chat.
Oh, okay.
But weird is not. I think it was too late because when I approved it, it didn't pop up in the main chat.
Oh, weird.
It's only on the YouTube thing. Well, sorry about that. It was. I don't think it was intentional. So send an email. Yeah. Actually, I wanted to bring that up, and dang, I need to talk about that in the next YouTube day in the life video. Because people have been a little. I'm just gonna kind of take a step back and say, okay, we're trying to run a real business, and if you call a business and you're like, hey, I have to speak to Dan. You're probably going to be met with, sure, can I ask why? And is this important? And if you're like, it's extremely important that I talk to Dan, and I cannot tell you why.
Red flag number one.
Rachel's going to go, right? Okay, so
we have gatekeeper now.
yeah.
We have a gatekeeper.
she's gonna put up some red flags, and you may or may not get sent to talk to me in any sort of reasonable amount of time, because it's coming off a little bit crazy. Because we get that. We get people who are a little bit crazy. That's cool. But I don't have time to just chat.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, what's up, bro? That's cool.
If someone says it's really important, I need to speak to you, it's probably not important.
And that's the problem. A lot of times people are like, it's very important to talk to you. And we're like, okay, what's it about? And like, oh, hey, yeah.
Can you help me find this part? Or I have this issue on my car. I need help figuring out what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to go buy this car. And I'm like, great. Do you want to do our consultation service? No. Okay, so I'm going to hang up now.
Yeah. I have people that pay a lot of money to talk to me at work, and they don't even say, I have to talk to you right now. It's important.
Different than my clients.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. Like, dude, I wish I could just sit there and talk to all the people that want to talk to me all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. If I could just make a living sitting there on the phone, shooting the shit about cars all day long, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be the best job ever.
Dude, I'd just be like, yeah, we're going to talk about shit we like all day long. This is going to be the best day of my life. And I'm going to get paid.
Next 151 subscribers can come on the live for 15 seconds. Go. Ask your one question. That's all you get.
If you can call right now, it's going to go to voicemail, because we actually legitimately were like, you know what? Our lives are impossible. So to give you an idea, Rachel logs every single call that comes through. 1 week, she got 63 calls.
Nice.
And those averaged like 10 to 15 minutes each.
Mm-hmm.
So she spent like 10 plus hours on the phone answering phone calls. This is why I can't just answer the calls anymore, because that was me before answering all those calls.
Yeah.
And the problem is, as soon as they talk to me, they want to talk forever, which I'm flattered. Truly, that's awesome. Like that's the hard part. Is like I feel bad saying these things, because it's like, how weird is the world where people actually want to talk to me? Like, I don't want to talk to me.
Well, you know, the funny part is like there hasn't been in the last since before you got Rachel on the Open the Business, there hasn't been a road trip that I've been on with either you or Josh that you haven't got a phone call and we go through some shitty reception area and then the person gets mad.
Oh,
you're like, it's on a weekend or whatever, and you're answering the phone. You're like, I'm driving right now. And you know, you're like taking time out of your day, like go above and beyond, and then people still get mad because like, oh, you dropped a call. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
What's your problem, man?
Or you didn't call me back.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't say what you wanted or give me your number, so of course I didn't call you back.
Yeah. I mean,
love it.
Emails are always preferred because then we can answer them in time buckets, you know, which is efficient. So then let's like, okay, I'm going to go through my emails for the next 30 minutes and I can just, you know, bang them all out and then move on to something else. Obviously, a lot of people still prefer phone calls. I don't. You're psychotic. I don't know. I don't understand that. I hate phone calls. But okay, you want to talk on the phone? Let's talk on the phone. But I mean, I get it. Like, you know, and you know, like that's. It's not that we're trying to not talk to you. It's that we're trying to talk to you in a more controlled fashion that's efficient and not disruptive, right? Like, because I can't tell you how many times we've been in the middle of wrenching on a car, doing something, and then you get a phone call, and then the next thing you know, you're on the phone for a half hour, and then you're like, oh shit, what the hell was I doing? Where was I? I don't even remember. And then anyway, it's just versus like, oh, this person called. I'm going to call him back at 2 p.m. Okay, I can plan that now.
Mm-hmm.
So at 2 p.m., I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to sit down, and they're going to have my undivided attention. Works out great. But, oh, see? Yeah, emails, we generally try our best to get back to you. If you email us and you haven't heard back within, seriously, like 48 hours, the email probably got missed somehow. Email us back. We won't be offended. If you're like, hey, haven't heard back, just checking it. Do it politely, please. Because it's honest. It's an honest mistake. Because I mean, no shit. Today, we went to lunch today, rare moment. Came back from lunch, and I pull up my emails, and Josh and I are sitting there. And in the 1.5, 2 hours that we were gone, I had like 60 new emails.
Dang.
Yeah, it sucks.
And I'm like, look at all this.
Yep.
So,
all right. The most important question of the night, though.
what? Yes, it does. Oh, more? Yeah.
I think the Italian leather's more porous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Definitely does. I would not recommend smoking weed in a Ferrari. It does not go away. We have
There you go.
definitely smelled weed in the car.
Oh yeah.
We should respond to Diego's comments here. So no, Diego, I've purchased an Alpha, so I don't need one. But Josh does need an Alpha.
Is it a what is it that you have for
I
sale?
assume it's a quad.
Send us an email.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carbon roof. Come on. If
Yeah.
not, what are you doing here?
It might not have been 2 hours. Although I did drive to the wrong
It was-
restaurant.
It was an important lunch today.
This was a business lunch, which is why I was longer. It was yeah.
But even if it was, so what?
Did
We
you
don't-
follow up on that business thing?
I haven't yet because I've been thinking about it a lot.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do we need to alter the plan?
No, I don't think so. I just,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. Business lunches that result in spreadsheets are good.
Yeah. Yep. Depends what line of work you're in. but-
No, that's true. Yeah.
If
It
I
is
get
9
text from a number I don't recognize, I usually block it because I get
Oh my god.
I don't know how many a
So
day.
many spam calls. It's so bad right now.
Yep.
Like 75% of the phone calls I get are spam. It's like every single one's the same one. You're like, hello? Then there's a pause. Hello. The Trump administration has changed the Medicaid and Medicare, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Lord.
Yep.
That same
You got to
spam
turn on the AI call assist, Dan. It's great.
AI call assist? I don't know. I think it's on.
Anyone that's not in my contacts that I haven't called,
Mm.
AI answers a phone. I'm just like, tell me what you're calling about.
Yeah.
How do you set that up? That's cool.
It's just a Google phone thing.
Oh, okay.
I have
Apple's got their
to-
own version of it though.
Do they?
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that.
Is it in the voice of Steve Jobs? Because I'm all about that.
That would
Probably.
If I
It
can
better
have
be.
Steve Jobs yell at somebody who calls me,
Right?
awesome.
I've got the caller ID spam thing. I've got like it usually has like I don't know. Is there a way to make it do that no matter what if someone's
Yeah.
new? Oh.
All right. I'll have to,
Shoot, I don't know.
After
I'll
the
look,
call, let's go through.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn that on.
I'll look it
Yeah.
up. I'll tell you.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, 9:30. Appreciate it. I'm
did
not
it.
like, just to be, clear. I'm not telling people not to contact us or not to call or whatever. I'm just saying be patient with us, please. It's limited staff with high volumes of workload, so it's hard to always be on top of it. I mean, it's like I said, 60 something calls in a week for a business our size is huge. With the substantial number of those people being like, I must talk to Dan.
Yeah. Well,
Why don't you
calls
just
are
see-
calls are a high like time sink, right? Because there's
Yeah.
you can't multitask on a call.
Well, the thing is about a call too is it could come in when we're right in the middle of something.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I drop
Right.
everything and take this, or do I call them back or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I like scheduled calls. They're so much better because then it's like I can work around it and
Yep. All right, drop
So-
the email and let's go.
Yeah.
Where should they email?
Oh yeah. sales@ngsupercars.com and sales@normalguysupercar.com. There you go.
Nice. Love it.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we'll see you
We
guys
did.
next week. I got a lot of videos to edit tomorrow. It's gonna be a long day. Oh boy.
Nice.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.